nice.
He's always shooting down in the woods. He wouldn't leave here even if he could. His life is good. Yeah!
Hickok 45 here, your internet shooting companion, coming to you from the beautiful hills of Middle Tennessee, the home of Dolly Parton, Alvin York, many others. Actually, they're not necessarily from Middle Tennessee, but they're from Tennessee. We will claim them, especially Dolly. Well, especially Alvin, actually. Well, hey everybody, good to see you again. Glad you crowded into the reloading room again. It is a little stuffy and crowded in here, and you might notice I'm moved over a little bit. I've had a lot of requests to show some different areas of the reloading room. There's not a lot of areas, not a lot of wall space. I would really like to build another one, to tell you the truth. I've got, 30 years in this room, you know, bringing stuff in, hanging it up, and, you know, and just junk. Well, it's not all junk, but you know how it is. You know how clutter gets in your area, your hobby area, your reloading room, many of you, right? Or your gun room, your gun area, whatever it might be that you're into, can get very cluttered at times. But anyway, it's good to see you. I got an old Colt single action to commemorate the event. Oh, nice. Second generation. Guess what? This is the Colt that, you know, I like a Colt single action as much as any firearm on the planet. Probably, get ready, even more than a full auto firearm, really. If I had to settle for one, well, I don't know about the one gun of all guns, but if I had to choose between one of these and some full auto firearm, I'd probably choose one of these. You know, it's just the history, the romance, fun shooting, you know. But yeah, I don't know. Be a tough choice, right? What was I going to say? Oh yeah. For those of you who have been following the channel and you're getting back and you're doing your homework and you're catching all the videos at your leisure when you can. What do you mean at your leisure, Hickok? What about just skip a few days of work and work your way back through those 1,250 videos? The very first video posted with me doing that really brilliant shooting of the buffalo, you know, like holding the gun and boom, boom, gotcha, whatever, 5 shots. It's about a 10-second video. It's the oldest video posted. That was this gun with black powder cartridges. Second generation, made in 1964. I have shot this a lot. I've packed it around the farm compound a lot over the, well, let's see, over the last, I've had it for about 15, 16 years, this one. And it's not the best shape, but it's just nice. Shoots right where it ought to. So the old Colt 45 Colt, thought I'd bring it out and have it here just in case I needed another prop, right? So what have I been doing? I don't know. Well, I guess I ought to, well, this is just the, you can kind of see some from the other vantage point that you see in the other shooting the breezes. And so I just sort of moved over a little bit. And this is the other end of that wall, and this is where you see the TV back here, the monitor screen where we, well, we originally had an old TV here, and when we would do a video, we'd come in here and look at it, kind of preview it, and see how it went, make sure it's all right. Do we need to redo it? I think we finally realized we weren't redoing any of them. It's just like that was it. So we got to where we really, you know, years ago, we got to where we almost never did that. Now we might, if we were going to hang around here and clean guns for a while, we might look at one, but it wasn't really, and it's not really in the mind, with the mindset that let's see if it's okay. Not that we don't care. It's just we get kind of a feel, unless something goes dramatically wrong, you know, we're not going to redo it. And you know that. We don't even redo pieces of them. So about the most we do is we'll restart one after a few seconds. You know, if I stumble on the introduction or say something stupid as we're starting the video, but that's about it. So, or yeah, you could probably count on one hand where we had to cut maybe where John coughed, or I remember one where we had a really hard time breaking something down or getting it back together. I forgot which it was, and I had to let you go for a few minutes. Oh, one time the the UPS man drove in. That's right, in the middle of a video. But otherwise, we don't. But we do use this to. It's a good excuse to preview them. And then I've been known to watch a Western or a movie, out here while I'm working. So that's pretty cool. In fact, I was watching Outlaw Josie Wales not long ago right here on this screen. Brand new movie just came out. Have you seen it yet? Actually, you know better than that. It's been out a while, but if you're a shooter, you probably like that movie. If you're a shooter and don't know that movie, you had better be ordering it. Outlaw Josie Wales, Clint Eastwood, a great movie. So anyway, back to, and I'll talk about a little bit of this maybe. What have I been doing? Like you're dying to know. Well, we've been pretty busy. I went to Tulsa to the gun show last weekend. I think I posted a picture or two on that. Yeah, that was last weekend. Whew, long drive. And that's to the Wanamaker gun show. Arms show, I think they call it. But it's reportedly the biggest gun show in the country, and I guess it is. I mean, I'm not going to argue with them. It's huge. It's huge. It takes, I sound like a political candidate there. It's big. And it takes, a day to go through it, maybe two. And you can get through it in a day if you're moving on. So that tells you how big it is. You have been to gun shows, most of you, and you know you can breeze through in a couple of hours, most gun shows. But this one does take a full day. It opens at 8, closes at 6. Good thing, at least on Saturday, because it takes that full time really to get through it. And then you might not get through it. Depends on what you're doing. If you're just browsing or you're on a mission looking for a gun, specific gun, and all that makes a big difference, doesn't it? I had a couple things on my radar, but I met a lot of you all there, so that was great. So it was good to see you all and see your funny faces. It was good. I did pick up a rifle. I picked up this Lee-Enfield, like I needed another Lee-Enfield. But this is one that I have had on my radar for a good while that I did not have, and that is number 4 Mark 1. Okay, this is the one that was made. These were produced in the late 30s and the 40s, early 40s, and used during. This was kind of the World War II Lee-Enfield. Okay, this was the World War II, the number 4 Mark 1. Now the Mark IIIs were used. Of course, whatever had been made prior to World War II, showed up there, everything, I guess. But this one was really, this was the latest improvement at that point, just not long before World War II broke out, I guess. I think it was before World War II, yeah. And then as always, there are small modifications, as you move along each year with almost any rifle, it seems. But this is the number 4 Mark 1. Number 4 Mark 1. 303 British, by the way. And if you didn't know. So we have several videos on these. And these are just wonderful rifles. It's one of my favorite bolt guns. Most people who are into bolt guns really like the Lee-Enfields. The Enfields. They're just great rifles. So those and the Mausers and the Aught-3s, even the Mosins, what am I leaving out? There's a lot of bolt guns from that era, but they're all just fun to shoot. They're generally well made. They're strong, accurate, and the ammo's still out there. It's kind of expensive for some of them, but you can find it. You can find it. What else? So Tulsa was great. It was great to meet you all. And it's a great rotisserie chicken. 10 Outdoors, 9 and I drove out there. Let's see. What else? Oh, well, Knob Creek. Went to Knob Creek yesterday. And I posted on Facebook about that, too. Just some pictures. I just took a few on the way out, to tell you the truth. I forget to take pictures. I rarely ever take a camcorder. But I'll snap a few shots when I'm at those places sometimes, if I remember. And Knob Creek machine gun shoot is what it is. It's a lot of machine gunning, and it's a big gun show. And they have a very large gun shop there too. I don't know if you've been there. I walked through it yesterday and was reminded they've expanded it in recent years, and it's a massive gun shop. You know, right there. So you got all that right there together. You can rent a machine gun and shoot it. There are matches. You got the big chute, you know, of all the incredible machine guns into the hillside you can watch, and a large gun show, and lots of vendors. So try to make that sometime. It's every 6 months. Look it up. They have a website, Knob Creek Shooting Range, and whatever the website is, you can't miss it. So that was a lot of fun. We've been to Lexington, Kentucky, my home state, and we're up in there for a meet and greet at Bud's. Met a lot of you there too. So really in the last 3-4 weeks, wow, must have met 400 or 500 of you funny looking folks. Really. Well, not all of you are funny looking. There's some good looking women in the mix. I don't know how some of y'all warrant that, but they're just mostly funny looking guys, right, like me. But it was great. We've really met a lot of you all in the last few weeks. So many, we've decided, well, y'all are so funny looking, we're going to quit doing this. No, it's always fun to meet you guys. And, you know, I can't spend a lot of time sometimes, you know, for a show or something like that, or a meet and greet, because there's just people, we want to say something to everybody that we can, say hi and, you know, greeting, that kind of thing. And I still can't believe so many people watch the videos. You know, it's perplexing when I leave those events or those shows and different things. I'm just, wow. You know, I mean, it's just amazing that so many people watch the videos. I mean, I know you see the numbers and the subscribers and everything, but I don't know. It's just, they're just numbers on the computer screen, you know, in a lot of ways, until you get out to places where you all are, and we meet you in living color, and it just drives home that YouTube's a big deal, and people really use it, you know, for information. I know I do, and not just for firearms, but for anything. And so it's just, the world has changed dramatically, hasn't it, in the last, you know, 10 years, with how we research and how we communicate. And I don't use all the social medias. I was on Instagram and tried to get back in. Couldn't, I don't know, didn't like my password or something. I'm so used to doing everything on the computer that I get frustrated on a telephone, on my phone, because that's strictly a phone, what would you call it, site or whatever, Instagram. I'll try again sometime, but I just don't have time for 14 different, you know, social media sites. I'm very antisocial anyway, right? You know, Facebook, again, I'm not a lover of Facebook, but it's a handy place to do, you know, communicate and post things. It's right there on the computer, and I can upload pictures of things like I did from Tulsa or Knob Creek, and you know, and put reminders up there, links whenever we post a video, you know, things like that. It just works well. I know some of you don't like it, but anyway, I digress. So anyway, we've been out and around, and been having, well, that's fun, going to gun shows. I've been going to gun shows and things like that since early 70s, I guess, regularly. I probably don't go a month that I'm not at a gun show somewhere. That's just what I do, and I still do it. It's where I will occasionally uncover a nice little acorn somewhere, you know, like this rifle, or my Model 29 I've had for 42 years, the 44 Magnum. I just happened to be prowling around the usual gun show in Nashville, and there one was, and that was back when they were hard to find, thanks to Dirty Harry and Clint Eastwood. Speaking of Outlaw Josie Wales. So what else? Oh yeah, don't forget the NRA meeting next month. I'll maybe have another Shooting the Breeze before then, but a reminder, keep an eye on the clock here, but a reminder that is coming up at the end, near the end of May, and we will do a meet and greet there at the Federal booth. So be sure you get by the Federal booth, okay? Vista Outdoor. It is, I think, from 1 to 3 on that Saturday, which is either the 21st or 22nd, but it's in May. And it's a Saturday of the NRA meeting. And as I said in the last Shooting the Breeze, doesn't matter whether you're a giant NRA supporter or not, come to the meeting if you can. because it's not really, I consider it a gun show as much as anything. It's a huge, there I go again, it's a gigantic gun show. And with all the manufacturers represented there, and you can fondle all their firearms. So it's a great event to attend. And we'll be there, so look for us. Definitely, you won't have to look for us at the federal booth on Saturday. We will be there. All right. We're also going to be at the NRA Firearms for Freedom booth for about an hour, Friday morning and Saturday morning both, from about, I think, 10 to 11 maybe. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what we've decided to be there. One of the firearms we're going to be posting is going to be auctioned as a donation to the NRA Firearms for Freedom program foundation. So and that's a good cause. So you might want to learn more about that. But we're going to be there for a couple hours too over the weekend. And if we do anything else there, and there could be another meet and greet with at another booth, I'll let you know in the description if that comes about. So which reminds me, as I've mentioned, I learned something about YouTube, how to change the description content, all in one fell swoop. So everything beginning with the date. I've got the date there now. Someone asked me to do that. I put the date. I was hesitant to do that because that's just when I updated it. That doesn't mean it's obsolete if it's 3 days after that date, but that date is just when I updated it. All right, so that gives you a little bit of idea. But then when you look at it, if you see the date is like a month ago, it doesn't mean everything's out of date. That's just the most recent time that I updated the description. And if there's meet and greet information in there, it is up to date. All right, we don't know anything new, generally speaking. All right, so anyway, so always check out the descriptions, and might learn something. Who knows? And I've talked about that a little bit. I won't bore you with that again, but I had to go through all the descriptions, all 1,250 or 60 of them, and kind of modify them a little bit. They needed cleaning up badly, because you know how you may have several videos, you'll put things in there and forget about it. Old meet and greets that long ago were obsolete, announcements about things, and then we needed to comply with the YouTube terms of service and take out links to anybody who sells guns. So I went through each one individually just to make sure it was correct, and that took about 25, 26 hours total, just going through the entire library over about a week's time. And it was interesting, though, I'll have to say, because that's a lot of videos, about 1,260 at the time. That's a lot of things to open up and look at, and maybe rewrite or modify, even just doing a little bit of nothing to each one. It was plus I had to open the video to do it, and it was kind of an interesting reminder. It was a bit of a walk back through history. I really forget how long we've been doing this, and wow, I mean, I kept running across videos that I'd almost forgotten about and that we had done, and I'd run across it. It was an education too, because I would come across a video, I don't know, like shooting through my pickup truck the day we did that. I'd forgotten about that because I don't see comments from that very often, and I just sort of forgotten about it. There's several videos like that, kind of interesting videos. I mean, pretty good videos, I think, that they just kind of forgotten almost. So because they were like so many years ago, and that's why I need to do more of that every now and then, as I did for a while on Facebook, is just a reminder, underviewed video of the week or something, whatever I want to call it, but just post one, a link to it occasionally, and just as a reminder, because sometimes there'll be a video I really thought was cool. I enjoyed doing that video, and it'll have 60,000 views. If I posted it tomorrow, that video new, it'd have 100,000, in a couple of days, and people would like it. But yet it's hidden back in there, so there's not much you can do about that, other than advise viewers to get back and do your homework, okay? And most of the videos are not in playlists. Wow, it would take forever to fix that. But just know you can search. I think most of you know you can search anybody's channel. We have an FAQ video on that. Happens to be number 54, the first one we did at Monument Valley, about how to search a channel for videos. Pretty simple. Just go to the search window when you're at somebody's channel and plug in, 1911 or AK-47, whatever you want to search for, to see if they have done it and done something on that. And it'll pull up everything they've done on that topic, right? So anyway, enough lessons. But it was interesting to go back through and just be reminded of things I'd written in the various descriptions and that sort of thing. Of course, now, though, over on Full 30, everything is pulled over on Full 30, too. And I know a lot of you are watching videos over there, too. And, yeah, I'd have to go through them again. Too bad I didn't do this before we hooked up with Full 30, because it would have been nice. But Full 30 doesn't yet have a tool for going back and that I'm aware of, and working on all of the descriptions at one time and that sort of thing. And I couldn't do what I was talking about. Hopefully this helps some of you people who have a lot of videos. Before I could do the thing I'm doing now, where I have it all in a body, a template, and then I just update that template, delete it on every screen, every description. I modify it, and then I blast it back out there, okay? Well, that was my thinking process when I discovered that capability. Whoa, okay, this is pretty cool. Most of the stuff in the descriptions of all the videos needs to be in that, except unless it's something that pertains specifically to that video. And but I needed to go back and clean them all up before I could do that, before I could add that. So I got everything deleted that is not related to that video specifically, and then now I can blast out links and whatever I want. So anyway, enough on that. Okay. But it was fun going back through them, and I hope that you get a chance to go back just randomly, if nothing else. You may really be interested in some of them. Okay, we got videos on knives and archery, and just some of it's foolishness. Like we were cleaning out the culvert with black powder. Like I say, shooting through the truck. Just various things that we do occasionally. Some of the early pot smoking videos, you name it, it shows up. I'd actually forgotten about some of those things. But what else have we been on lately? Oh, we've had some interesting firearms lately. Wow. I don't have, well, yeah, I've got it somewhere here. I've got a Smith & Wesson Victory 22. I think it's an SW22 Victory is the model number. Haven't fired it yet, but I'm going to this week, and that firearm seems pretty cool, I have to say. It really does. It seems like it might be an improvement, much improvement over the Ruger Mark IIIs in terms of breakdown. Now, I don't know if this is accurate or all that, but Smith & Wesson, it appears, put in a lot of thought on this one, and it's very simple to break down, and I like the feel of it. I think I'm going to like it. I might be surprised, but I think I'm going to like it, so we'll be doing that one. We also will be posting pretty soon another rifle that I have always admired, the Ruger number 1. Yes, number 1, which is single shot rifle. Some of them big bore, and they're pretty cool. If you've ever seen them, you probably know what I'm talking about. Some of you own them, right? Well, guess what caliber chambering this one is in. Now, I've already done the video. My shoulder has the bruise to prove it. No, actually, I don't think I saw a bruise on my shoulder after that. It's 375 H&H Magnum. Pretty stout. I don't have a round handy here within reach, but it's a bomb. 375 H&H. Oh, we've done that one. We've done the Gewehr 43, the G43. I think I've had a lot of requests for that, and thanks to the Mosin Crate, we got our hands on one and borrowed it from them. So you'll be seeing that before too long. And that's pretty cool. Fires 8mm Mauser round. So enjoy doing that one. What else? Springfield EMP. Had a lot of requests for that, so you'll be seeing that. I don't know if you're familiar with, did I show that? revolver and a shooting the breeze. Maybe it's the USFA Colt clone. It's one of these, but made by United States USFA, United States Firearms. Firearms, yeah, that's what it stands for. It's a clone that was out. It hadn't been made for a few years, but they're made as well as Colt or better, and they had to be priced pretty high too because of that. And they just went out of business for various reasons. I'll talk about that in the video, but you'll be seeing that one posted. Really nice revolver. In fact, it's the one that's going to be auctioned off sometime there just before the NRA meeting. Okay, so you can watch for that. But it's a cool gun. It was hard to send back. And I like Colts, but boy, that one I would like to have kept, to tell you the truth. Oh man, what else? Oh yeah, we got a surprise. We got a pretty interesting firearm coming up. I won't say. I'll give you a hint. It's in association with NC Silencer. Okay, and if you know anything about our relationship there and how they help us, you know that it's probably something that requires paperwork, and that's going to be fun. We're going to do several videos with that coming up before too long. And I do have an arrow out here. I thought I stuck it out so I'd remember. I stuck it out here. My fletching getting a little rough on that one. I have used that one. I put the fletching on myself, by the way. I don't make the aluminum, but I make these. Put the knock on. I cut the aluminum shafts to the right length for me, and put the tips in, the inserts, and all that. And then I do the fletching. I've got a little. Well, it's not really a machine. It's a tool. Helps you line it up, and some of you will probably do that too. And I just this is, by the way, what is it, 2117? See if I remember 2117. I've been away from shooting it for so long that I almost forget. And like I say, we have some archery videos. We'll do some more. There's a big shoot that takes place every spring up here at Twin Oaks Archery Club. It's what's it called, the Spring Classic or something like that, and it's not that far from me, and it's a traditional match, strictly traditional archery. Okay, and decided going to shoot in it again. Haven't shot in it for a couple of years. Seems like it floods every year that thing comes about, and so I have a couple of buddies that we try to get together and do that occasionally. We used to do 3D matches pretty often. And so I emailed them and said, hey guys, why don't we get together, get our arms in shape, our shoulders back in shape, and take in that match, and just guarantee that we'll have a flood that first weekend in May or last weekend in April. It's always at the same time each year. So watch out for a flood if you live in the Tennessee area. Come I think actually the way the calendar hits, I don't know, the May 1st must be like that Sunday or something. I looked at the calendar, but I noticed the first day of it is in April, at the end of April. So it's bound to flood, but that's one thing we're going to be doing. Anything back here of interest I gotta show you? I just this junk on the wall, been hanging there, some throwing axes, and oh gosh, I don't know, those old Garand ammo for a Garand. A couple of those out there in case you need to grab the Garand really quickly. Some of my powder, I guess you can see kind of the for my press here. I'm not sure those have been in the video before. The tool heads with different calibers, for different chambers and cartridges for the to reload. I've got 9mm on there now. I've got 357 on there now. I've got 10mm, and I've got, let's see, 4570. 45 Colt, and I don't know what all back there, but that's just where you can just slide the head in, and I've shown you all that in one of the reloading videos, I think, how that works. And reload, I don't reload as much as I used to, partly because of the help from Federal, and good thing don't have a lot of time to do it, but I enjoy reloading, and there are things I don't have to reload 9mm now. That's nice. The things I still load mostly when I'm going to reload something is like 4570, that 405 grain hard cast bullet. I like to have some of those on hand, even though we get some nice rounds from Federal, the jacketed 300 grain, rounds. And 45 Colt, you just got to have 45 Colt hard cast. Shoot some of those occasionally, right? 44 Magnum even, and 357. That's what these are. 357 rounds. I use a bullet that it's kind of a flat nosed, a little bit of a flat nose, so I can shoot it in, but yet it's rounded, and that way I can shoot it in my Model 92 Winchester, my lever gun. It cycles smoothly. Sometimes a wad cutter with sharp edges or a semi-wad cutter doesn't cycle as smoothly in a lever gun, as the round nose does, kind of round nose, but yet flat, so that you've got a flat nose against that primer, in the tubular magazine. Demonstrated that before in videos. So that serves two purposes. So always thinking, right? Oh, what else? I guess I need to let you go. I just appreciate y'all tuning in and watching the videos, and and if anything in bigger numbers. So we welcome all the new viewers, and it looks like we're hanging on to the old viewers for the most part, unless I upset somebody, which I guess I do occasionally. But it's great to have the following, and makes it really worthwhile, because the work we put into it and everything is I don't know, it's we feel like we're rewarded in a lot of different ways. Y'all keep coming back and watching, and then of course we get support from some various companies that help us out, and so the cycle continues. I'm sorry if you want to quit, just quit watching. No, I hope you don't. We really value your all's attendance at these things, and it's great to see you at meet you in person. And again, I'm just continually impressed with the caliber of people that I meet that like the videos and watch the videos. So that's always nice. It's it I don't know, it's gives you confidence, in the Second Amendment and in the country. I mean, here are the people who are really avid shooters, and to the point where they watch shooting videos on YouTube, and enough that they recognize me when they see me. They're really into guns, that they're just good people, and obviously we all know that, because that's who 99%, well, more than 99% probably, of shooters are. Gun owners even are, right? I mean, there's obviously some criminals who own guns, but it's an infinitesimal number, right, compared with the number of shooters out here. So we got to stay united, and again, with all the elections coming up, things will get busy this summer, as you know. It already is. So make sure you're planning to vote for whomever. Vote for the person you think will protect your rights, hopefully, whoever that is. Whether you feel like it's a Democrat, a Republican, a Libertarian, whoever you can vote for. Okay, you support them. But I hope you'll look at everybody's record and look at everybody's platform, and try to make an educated decision on that, and encourage your friends to vote. There are too many people who don't vote. That's really the problem, isn't it? They just don't vote. Just like there's way too many people who are not supporting the gun rights organizations. There's just way too many. If we had 100,000 members in all the gun rights organizations, not just the NRA, I mean, we would not have a fight. Basically, it wouldn't be an issue. And I don't know why they're not, but think about it. If you're not a member of the NRA, the Gun Owners America, one of the organizations, and you pick it, and send you $30 or $40 or $50 a year, and feel a little better about yourself, because you're in the fight, right? Write letters, write your congressmen, write your senators, write everybody locally and nationally, and that's I won't say that's all you can do, but that's enough. Really, if everybody did it, that would be enough, wouldn't it? It certainly would be enough. Well, even if a giant proportion of shooters did it, it would be enough. But we just need fewer people like riding in the wheelbarrow. We need more people, helping push it. They really do. So, anyway, again, I appreciate the support that you all give us. We enjoy what we're doing still, and I can't imagine not enjoying it. I mean, it's just I'm just lucky. A lot of it is luck, and just happen to be in the right place at the right time, and be a gun nut and semi-interest in computers and all that kind of thing, and start putting stuff on YouTube, with no intention. If you're new, you've not heard me give the story. I won't give the detailed story, but we had no clue really that people would be interested. Had no plan to make a penny, nothing. Just thought I'd post some videos about firearms and share a little bit of the knowledge that I had, and since I have a range, it might be fun to do what we do. And it was months and months and months and months before. This is back in the day when YouTube had to invite you to be a partner, quote unquote, and before you could share revenue on the ads and stuff. So we were into this for almost a year, I guess. I almost didn't even accept that. I didn't even know anything about that. So again, we just started doing this as kind of a lark, and but for whatever reason, it's grown, and so we're extremely lucky that we can do this basically for a living. And so we don't want to let you down. We want to keep it going, and we'll do things that you all request, things that I like. The first 6 months to a year, it was almost exclusively just guns I like to do, guns I like to shoot. Because I was just showing how the guns I had worked, and shooting them and that kind of thing, and never really considered us being gun reviewers at all, even for really 2 or 3 years probably. And I guess we've kind of evolved to the point where we are sort of reviewers in a different sort of way maybe. And so we do value having a variety of firearms, and some of the newer firearms that you all request a lot, and so we've kind of evolved into that, and that's good, because I get a lot of positive reaction of people trying to decide what to buy, and they look at the videos and it helps them, and so I feel good about our being able to give you a little insight into a firearm that maybe you don't get an opportunity to shoot it or even field strip it, and if I can do that, then that good for everybody, because I enjoy doing it. Even if it's a firearm I don't particularly love, it's fun to shoot almost any firearm and learn about it. And so I enjoy just going through the process, whether it's a Chiappa revolver, which, I didn't necessarily love, even though it was a good shooter. Guns like that, it's just interesting to get them in our hands and learn about them and shoot them. And so I have more knowledge myself about that firearm. It's not just what I assume about a firearm. So, but anyway, we're pretty lucky, and we'll keep doing it. And I've done a lot of things, man, and I just didn't know I'd be doing this. Instead of being maybe retired, I'd probably still be teaching now or for a couple more years, but I had to quit early, as many of you know, because I couldn't do both well. But I've done a lot of things, and wow. I used to travel. I was in a kind of a professional sales job in the publishing world for almost 10 years, and did a whole lot of traveling. And then I taught, again, for some of you that are new, I taught middle school, high school for a total of 29 years, with both incarnations as a teacher. So, and some other things, but I've just never done anything like this. So it's kind of interesting that here I am, finished with all that corporate stuff and education stuff, in a formal sense, and doing this. So it's kind of interesting. And as you might know, anytime you're self-employed, it's crazy, and you end up putting in more hours than you would in any other job. But it is nice being self-employed. It really is, because you determine your day and what you're going to do, and you determine your future. So that's another thing that's nice about this is that we are basically self-employed, John and I, and we do what makes sense to us, and we don't answer to anybody, so other than the viewers. So It's kind of nice. And but anyway, we appreciate. I don't talk about that enough. Probably we appreciate again that you all have given us these jobs, and it doesn't seem like a job. That's for sure. Even though there's a lot involved, and I can't keep up with it all. A lot of days, but I have to stop and remind myself, hey, wait a minute. Don't dare catch yourself complaining, because guess what you're doing for a living right now? Do I need to remind you? That's my conscience speaking. Do I need to remind you? You are shooting for a living. Okay? Oh, yeah, enough said. That's right, enough said. I am shooting for a living, so I can't complain. But anyway, we appreciate it, and we hope you keep coming back. I guess I didn't provide any useful information today. Is there anything I could draw on to give you a pearl of wisdom? I guess not. You young folks that are watching. Speaking of that, you guys, gals, you really are so important in terms of setting an example. In the shooting world, well, in the world in general, because you can do more as a 16-year-old or an 18-year-old than I can. People expect me to demonstrate safety and common sense and that sort of thing. And we expect that from adults, don't we? We don't always get it, but we expect it. And from you, and if you're entering the hobby of firearms and you're a youngster, you might be 12, you might be 15, whatever age you are, or 21, whatever, you can have probably a bigger impact than we older people can on your peers, okay? On your peers and young people in general, by demonstrating safety and responsibility with firearms and in everything, but with firearms. If you're at the range, you're talking about firearms, you're talking about the hobby. In a way, you carry a. It's a little bit like the school you go to. If you go to a school and you've got the jersey on, or you've got the patch of the school on your sleeve, or whatever, you play for a team or whatever it is, you're representing that school, that team, when you're out and around. It's kind of the same way this is all coming to me at once. Sorry, my brain never slows down. Well, actually it does. It's on a crawl most of the time. But it just occurred to me that being a shooter and people knowing that you're into firearms, it's a little bit like that jersey or that patch, that school patch or that school monogram. In a way, people know you're a shooter. They know you're into firearms. Then it's more incumbent upon you to demonstrate responsibility. It really is. I mean, think about it. I mean, we all know that 99% of people are very responsible with firearms, but if I know somebody's into firearms and they're a collector, they're a shooter, or they're just always talking about firearms, and I see them being a little crazy, or saying stupid things and doing really, really immature stuff all the time, what's that make me think? Wow. No, not that you can't be immature if you're young, but you carry a little more responsibility, I think, as a participant in this hobby. And that's a good thing. And it's one of the things you'll see pointed out as a benefit of the shooting sports. It teaches responsibility. You don't have a choice. It doesn't matter whether you're 12, 8, 20, 16, or 72 or 57. It doesn't matter what your age is it? A firearm, as safely as we almost all handle them, because we all respect them, we who are responsible, which is most of us, right? We know they're like a rattlesnake. This firearm, it's deadly. It could be deadly. Now, it's not a violent piece of steel, but it could be deadly, in my hands if I'm not careful with it. If I have it loaded and I point it in the wrong direction and I pull that trigger, I mean, someone could bleed. Me, right? The cat, the dog, right? So just the fact that could happen, it's like a car, right? Same as a car. Every time you get in a car, the same thing could happen, and it often does, right? To somebody. So it is just like getting your driver's license when you're 16. You know, you're 17, you're 18, you start driving a car. You just have to up the level of responsibility, no doubt about it, right? And not everybody drives eventually, almost. Everybody's not into firearms. And then we have that other side to firearms. We have those people who would like to think that they are evil, you know, and that just owning one turns you into an evil person. And so they're looking for that. You know, that's a lot of it. So some of it is just political. You just need to be aware of your image. So anyway, got off onto some of the youth there and everybody, preaching a little bit. But we all need to be reminded, I think. And we have a large audience, and I probably should preach a little bit occasionally, you know. I don't know. We have a responsibility too, having a large audience, to be safe. And I think 99.9% of the time, I demonstrate safety. You know, it's difficult when the camera's rolling and everything's going on at once. You're trying to think about the video, what you're going to do. So it's really it's not a challenge in the sense that it's not too big a challenge, because once you ingrain the safety habits, you know, you're always pointing down range and that sort of thing. But still, a lot to think about as the video is going on, the way we do them, where there's not an edit point, you know, for 20, 30 minutes. So anyway, we feel a strong responsibility to represent, you know, shooters well. It's a pretty important thing. So I want to pass along a little pearl of wisdom there, right? Wasn't a pearl. It was probably a rat dropping. I don't know. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble, so I need to shut up. But we appreciate you all, and come back into the reloading room here and visit with me again sometime. Life is good.